Yeah, you just mentioned Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, former FCT minister. Well, some people say his legacy as governor was quite controversial. Of course, we know the achievements in infrastructure and other areas, but in terms of peaceful coexistence, some people had their issues with that. Nominated as minister, but dropped, and he could not also deliver majority vote for his party in Kaduna State. So what value does he bring to the table? Because they say, I may be wrong, but some people, political observers say, with the rise of Governor Obasani, it seems like Nasir El-Rufai has lost political influence in his state. And his state is one of those with, the highest number of registered voters in northern Nigeria. What value will this man bring to the table?
I think I will continue to emphasize. If we look at the election results for Kaduna State, how many votes did APC get? How many did PDP get? El-Rufai was in APC.
Indeed.
So if we look at the number of votes that PDP got, which were very close, the election was hotly contested, and in fact, those of us in the PDP still believe that election was won by PDP. But we are lawful
10,000 or so.
10,000 10,000 votes. So if you have 10,000 votes and you have an El-Rufai coming in, however unpopular he is, I think it would be very discourteous to say that he cannot muster 10,000 votes or even 20. And so if he can bring 20,000 votes, we'll be good to go. Well, so forget about him just as a person. He has value. The value may have diminished, but nonetheless, we already have something on ground which puts us in a winning position.
Speaking about diminishing value, I want to talk about Rotimi Amechi, former Minister of Transportation, former governor of Rivers State, but he also could not deliver the states for his party. It took someone else from another party to deliver, and he has also failed to deliver his state in 3 successive elections. That I'm talking about Rivers State. In 2015, he did not deliver. In 2019, he also failed to deliver. Same with 2023 because he supported a different candidate when he lost that election.
Yeah, you see, in politics, it is not all the time that the interests are linear all through. They may be positive as you draw the line, and then they will change to negative as you go forward.
But these are antecedents that would also determine possible outcomes.
That's what I'm coming to. I'm saying that, yes, President Tinubu won the presidential election in Rivers State, isn't it? PDP won the governorship and majority of seats, both in the state and the National Assembly. So again, it's a matter of 2 political parties. Now, when we continue to hold individuals have single votes. They have a followership. But remember too that among their followership, you also have other people of interest who, if they say, look, I'm no longer here, those votes are gone. So you have maybe in that order, you have the person at the top. Maybe directly behind him, you have 10 people who are now giving him the votes. If 6 of them pull out, he is nobody up there. You just fall down because the ladder has been pulled down from under his feet. So let us not emphasize as if it's that single person who makes the votes. No. He makes the votes along with the support.
His influence, that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
His influence. And then, they are also, again, within the ADC, we're hearing different commentaries from every corner. Some people are saying, the ticket should be zoned to the south. I know you're not yet at that bridge, but these conversations are beginning to come up. Some say, well, if it is zoned to the south, then who will it be? We know who the frontliners or the front runners are. If it is to the south, then it will likely be Peter Obi against an Amechi, or if it is to the north, perhaps an Atiku clinches the ticket. Now, who will be the choice for VP? That's what a lot of people are concerned about. Peter Obi left the PDP when it was clear to him that he may not win the presidential election at the presidential primary ticket, and also may not be picked as vice president. That's why he left. It might be deja vu again, because again they say he may not have that spending power, and money is a significant factor in politics. So if, for instance, an Atiku, assuming but not conceding, an Atiku wins the ticket, he may just look elsewhere to somebody who probably has spending power, like Rotimi Amechi. So money now will play a factor and would further cause crisis within the ADC, just like what happened in the PDP.
I do not have sufficient information on the depth of their pockets. That's between Peter Obi and
no, but we know everyone knows
so,
Peter Obi.
As a lawyer, I cannot make opinion on what I have no information. I know that Peter Obi is not poor.
Indeed.
Just like Abeji is not poor, but as to how deep their pockets are, I cannot say.
How willing they are to spend.
That's another issue.
Yeah.
If it's a matter of willingness
to spend,
you can inject willingness into somebody. Somebody can be stimulated to spend if he sees that the expenditure is for good. So if Peter Obi has money and it's only the willingness to spend that is a problem, then maybe perhaps this is the project that we inject in him, the willingness to spend, who knows. So I wouldn't take it in terms of money. And again, let me just put this across, that as much as possible, we intend to discourage money politics in the ADC. It is one of the main, we have a lot of projects lined up. We intend to discourage money because we're talking about youth here. If we say somebody should come and buy a phone for 50 million, you have already sent the youth out. How many youths can afford the 50 million? So I told you we're conscious about the population demographics. And we're not going to have a huge chunk of our party members, disqualified simply on account that they don't have the money. If they have the brains, why not? Those who have made, discoveries and inventions, it's not because they had the money. The money came after they made the inventions.
Indeed.
So we're going to ensure that people are not simply disqualified or disallowed from participation on the grounds that they don't have sufficient money.
All right, then, and Nigerians will also be watching to hold it to account. But in 30 seconds, quickly now before we go, when this administration came on board, the President Bola Tinubu's administration, they came with a lot of reforms. We saw the removal of fuel subsidy that virtually all candidates campaigned that they were going to remove subsidy. We've seen reforms like, the unification of the exchange rate, most recently the tax reforms. What's your own view of all of these reforms? Are they in good faith, or do you quarrel with the management and probably the process of their implementation?
Thank you very much for answering part of the question for me. I support a removal of fuel subsidy as a person, but not in the manner it is being managed. First of all, nobody has had, the sense of duty to tell Nigerians that this is what we have realized from the removal of fuel subsidy, and this is how we're channeling it.
No, well, because that is being said at FAC, where we see that governors are getting more monies, and they have also confirmed that.
You take a policy of that magnitude. You must have a program that that reduces the hardship. It's not a matter of sharing money at FAC. I attended several FAC. I was Permanent Secretary of Finance and Economic Planning for 8 years, so I attended several FAC meetings. So it's not for you to put money at FAC, but it is not FAC that removed the fuel subsidy. The government that removed the fuel subsidy should have a program to alleviate the hardships that have been caused.
All right.
Now the issue of tax reform, yes, I've read part of it. At the time it was in contention, and I know that in the end, if it's properly managed, it may be good. But you don't emphasize taxes when your people are hungry. And you should first improve the earning power of the people before you tax them.
Yeah, we need to go. The government says that is pro-poor and pro-development. Well, that's all on the program today. You can watch this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you for watching. I am Femi Akonde. See you next time.